Hello, this is Steve with chaoticthinking.com. Here today to show how to finish off your paracord bracelets. Two different methods and two ways to do the second method. The first method, and the most common, is to simply snip and singe the ends of your paracord bracelet. I like to come in as close as I can. This is not a bracelet, just a test piece. Take your lighter, come in and lightly singe the end. You can come back in with a wet fingertip and smooth it out. I like to barely let the flame touch it to not burn the surrounding material. And there you go. By pressing it in, you're pressing it into the surrounding material and you're flattening out the end, which really does help prevent pull out. If you've made your bracelet and your weave tight enough, you're not going to have any pull out to really worry about though. So this design is the Locked in Love or Solomon's Heart design. One of my other videos that you can check out. The next method is tucking your ends in. There's two different ways to go about this depending on what tools you have at hand, and I'll cover those now. The first way, and the way that I started out with, is a pair of hemostats, locking hemostats or forceps. And the other method to tuck is with a paracord fid. The paracord fid is the easier way, but not everybody has a fid. And until you get one, you can go this method. I did this method for a good while before I actually got the paracord fids in. When you come down to the end of your bracelet, when you get to about three passes left, I come and I take and I place my forceps right there on the bracelet, and then I take a spring-loaded clamp and I hold it in place. Now I come over and with the forceps in place, I finish my weave over top of the forceps. Pull nice and tight like so. Now you can remove your clamp, remove your bracelet from your jig if you're using one. I flatten my paracord out to make it easier to thread through the buckle, and this also lends itself to be good for using the forceps. Now you'll come, open up as much as you can. You can stick your ends in, lock your forceps or your hemostats down, and gently, real gently, pull them through. And sometimes that happens. So we'll try one at a time here. Since I still have my path there, I come through. I'll grab a little bit further up this time. Turn sideways so that my edges don't catch. And there you go. Now, the very last thing is I like to one more tug on these two coming out to tighten it down, and then you can just pull everything in. Now you would just simply cut your paracord off right there. The forceps, I got mine at a local gun show. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, and I know a medical supply company would have them as well. If you don't have forceps like this that are locking, you could use a thin needle nose plier. You're going to have to make your cavity a little bit bigger as it comes through, and you might not be able to clamp it in plate depending on the weight of them, but at least enough to be able to get in there and grab your paracord and pull it through. And the second method to finish off your paracord bracelets via the tucking method is with a paracord fid. I've already got this one installed. The fid is threaded on the inside, and you cut your ends of your paracord off at a 45-degree angle and lightly singe them. This gives the thread something to grip onto, and you thread that in and that won't come out. I like to clear the path with a knitting needle on the bracelet. Just come in, make you a nice little hollow space for your fid to go down through, and then the fid slides in nicely. Come through. Once you got one done, put your fid on your other cord. Come back in with my knitting needle. Make a nice, another little path right next to the first thread. And I find that if you go under 3, it'll hold just fine. You won't have any problems at all with pull out. Alright, one final little tighten there, and just pull on out. And there you go. And that's how you finish your paracord bracelet. I like to leave these fraying, that way they're nice and smooth on the wrist. You could bend it back and lightly hit it with some flame and kind of mold it down so it's nice and smooth, no jagged edges. And that's your finished paracord bracelet. The fids that I got are from the Paracordist at theparacordist.com. He sells 2 different types, the regular stainless steel and the flat point brass. You can as well find some. This was one that I made out of a threaded standoff post. Didn't really come out the best. It is aluminum and I was just using a Dremel. But another method is to use a knitting needle, cut it off and expose as a hollow inside, and then drive a machine screw down through, and that'll embed the threads on the inside for you. So the Paracordist, he sells them. They're not bad priced, but you can additionally make them yourself if you didn't want to buy them. So 2 different methods to get your fids. You can also find a Jumbo Permalock needle for leather lacing that you put onto the tips of your leather for lacing like baseball gloves and things like that. I think through Tandy Leather they have them as well. I went to my local Tandy Leather store and they didn't have them though. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and take care.